Session 4, Mutant Year Zero. We returned to the group coming back from the zone. They went out to investigate a set of explosions out there. They crossed a number of areas to reach a place where they found some raiders who had attacked a settlement. They were able to very handily dispatch the raiders. There were some injuries taken on the part of the players, but they dealt with them where they could have very easily, the tables could have been turned on them. So they survived that. They were able to find some people hidden away in the remnants of the settlement who spoke about having come from another place that they couldn't remember. They did not appear to be mutants, except for one of them appeared to be like some sort of small, had been shrunk mutant. So they were deliberating about that. And one of them had a sword. Probably the most important note in that entire session, one of them had a sword. And so we kind of ran up to the clock last time, and I said that we would start out this session by dealing with their returning to talking with the boss who had bankrolled their operation, who had given them a number of bullets and stuff. And so we were going to take up with that. Before that, though, someone needs to roll me a d6.
Is it a good one or a bad one?
No, this is a bad one. This is the how many people die. So you want to roll low.
Ah! 5.
5. Okay, and we look, and you're at food level 2. So I think that actually reduces the loss. So you only lose 4 people. And we will talk about that. That's sort of a session end thing that we didn't have a chance to get to. I will grab the sheet for the arc and make that note on it, reducing the population down by 4. So you're at 196. So you came back sort of early morning. You stashed the vehicle away across the bridge, and you snuck back to speak to Victoria. Her other enforcers know Obakai, so they let you pass, and you're brought in with these 2 strangers. Victoria is woken up and comes out, and these people she hasn't seen. You know most everybody on the Ark, and there's only 200 people, less now. So you kind of know everyone, and she will ask for the story. Is there anything that you don't want to tell her?
I think we didn't want to tell her about the car, right?
Are we not telling her that at all? Or
well, wouldn't she just? She has first dibs on artifacts. She could just be like, "Thanks for the car," right?
Is that an artifact? No.
I think she would consider it valuable.
Yeah, go ahead and tell her about it because she still needs me to maintain it, and drive it.
Oh, okay.
And then she has to worry about protecting it, so that's fine.
And she is a boss, but she's not as scummy as many of the others. Like she might, I don't know.
It's a lovely romantic story, Obi.
I'm totally disillusioned. Like, I'm on board.
I do remember, though, that we were talking specifically last time. I remember Sherry being like, we won't tell Pretoria about X.
Because the sword? Because she took the sword? She'd take your sword?
I think the thing was leaving the sword in the possession of this woman, and after Victoria gets her dibs, then negotiating.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because then it's not up for grabbing.
Right. Okay.
So So you give her most of the story. She will kind of be interested when you mention the car, and she says that there's a rifle on it. You said?
Did we take the rifle off of it?
I think it was mounted. I don't think so.
Oh, it was mounted, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She seems disappointed by that, but okay. Okay. All right. So what did you get? What did you acquire?
I first bust out the DVDs and make them seem very cool.
I was just about to do the exact same thing. We got these shining metal discs, and if you throw them, you can decapitate someone with one blow.
And
really, did you decapitate someone with one of these?
It is known.
I tried.
The edge is duller than I would expect for a thrown weapon, and they're fairly light.
Just because I can't do it doesn't mean someone couldn't do it.
They have pictures of
like this is Batman versus Superman. No one wants this.
Yeah. Well,
Even in the war-torn future.
They have pictures. You could make a fabulous wall of this. Yes.
What else?
I also wrote a bottle of something, which is not descriptive.
She takes it.
It smells
smells
like strawberry.
That's very, very pungent. Do you know what it is?
No idea. It's a mystery.
Smells good for drinking.
For you to unravel.
You put it.
She does this thing.
Oh, gross.
Oh no! You can keep that.
It's like Elf with the perfume bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
not good. What else?
The hockey mask and the umbrella.
Tap tap.
What about the grenades?
Yeah, the grenades, yeah.
We were talking about bringing the frag grenade to the vault and keeping the smoke grenade. Is that right? Do we want to...
Yeah, as well as the umbrella.
I think that was the thing that Sherry said we don't give to Pretoria was the frag grenade. We want to give her the other grenade, but not the frag grenade.
No,
I thought we wanted to keep the other grenade.
Because it's not worth anything to turn in?
I can't remember. One of them we want to keep, and the other one we want to give her.
Well, you can still, if she wants to take the smoke, that's good too, right? Like, we don't really care. Because the umbrella's sweet for turning in, I remember.
Yes. Pretty good for that.
As is the frag grenade. So those
The frag gets us to... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, grenades would be much better than umbrella for her.
Why not just both?
Well, the umbrella's worth both the
Yeah,
grenades.
she gets first pick of one item.
Oh, I don't believe that was, in fact, the deal that was made.
Wasn't it?
It was she gets first dibs on any items.
Yeah, I read that as like she chooses which one she wants first, right?
She looks at you and she goes, "How do you think I read that?" Not that way.
Well, I mean, we came back with so much stuff and I risked my life. I got really tired out there.
and I say to Victoria, I'm like, you should take the car. Because then when you want to go out further, you got the car.
And
I said, it's going to take connections to get the booze to fuel the thing. It's going to take connections to keep it safe and find a good hiding place.
and it's got weapons on it.
And it's got a weapon on it.
But
We
with
can
that,
take it off.
but with that vehicle, we could head out past the horizon and in search of other communities, other places, even Eden.
And you've got sunglasses.
I was just about to say, the whole time I'm standing here just wearing sunglasses saying all this stuff.
Yeah. Why don't you put those on the table too, son?
So I guess
Had these. I was born with these.
If you want me to be, to really uphold, your rule around here, don't you think that they look good on me?
And they have UV protection?
So, Sherry, you were pushing. Let's have you roll manipulate.
Oh, that's going to go great.
can I help?
Yeah, you can give her an extra die. You have a dot and manipulate, right?
No.
Does our chronicler?
Oh yeah, I manipulate, I think. Let me see. I do have a dot, and it stems from my empathy, which is nice.
So which of you wants to do the lead negotiation, and who's going to assist?
I think that the chronicler would be the better to do the lead.
Sure. I've got 4 stat and 1 skill.
Okay, then you can roll with an extra skill die for the assist from the stalker.
Yeah, everyone will want to read this story. So if
And we're trying to get her to take the car.
You're trying to make her, I think, generally take less from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just
And
be
using
like,
the car as being like, hey, look at this cool shiny thing.
Look, this is just like a bushel of canvas.
And you're going to be writing the story of this too, so you could make her seem very flattering.
Yeah, I think the position of power on her side and you're actually having the car kind of balance out in terms of the bonuses or minuses. So I'm going to read that as a net wash.
Okay, so got 1, I think.
Got 1 success.
Yeah.
Now you could push it and take some damage. You would be taking 2 points.
That's
a lot.
It seems
to
like
heal it afterwards, you would just have to hang out with your pals.
Oh yeah? How do you know that?
Because that's how empathy
that's how it
healing
works.
Oh, okay. Well, I can hang out.
I can hang.
I could hang.
Hopefully it doesn't do enough damage to break you.
Oh. That's what you tell me now. Okay, so does that mean 2 total, or I just got the same as before?
So on your rerolls, you didn't get any extra successes or damage. So we were still at 1 success, and you take 2 damage.
Oh, so it takes into account the one I did before.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I take 2 damage to my feels.
Yeah, I imagine that this is a hard press negotiation.
I don't know Victoria very well, so she could probably see where I was coming from. I'm just like, it really is the best thing. I like kick the umbrella. I'm like, look at you. That's like a bushel of canvas. We have enough canvas here, right? Like, who needs that, right? And those Oakleys, they look pretty good on that guy.
She says, the sunglasses, the smoke grenade, everything else is yours.
Sorry, but just sunglasses.
And we'll I don't particularly want the car under my auspices, but I'd like to think that if I needed it, you would help me out.
I think so, yeah. You funded our first expedition.
Okay.
No small thing.
Okay.
So I take off the glasses and I put them on her and I say, "You look mighty terrifying, boss."
Yeah, they do look good on me, don't they?
I mean, they looked really good on me, but they look good on you.
She looks up at you. All right. It's okay. And what about these 2 that you brought in?
See if we can find a place for them.
Do they know anything?
They came from a place that they can't remember very well, and they lost everyone who escaped along with them. But they probably know some stuff. I think they're just kind of, it was pretty harsh.
I think they could really help out the camp too, especially having it in your camp. Because look, this one here has a great mutation. You can see she could like get into any kind of place. She's super small.
Yeah,
She
the
is
mutation's
tiny.
called daughter.
That's not what I know. All right, I will take care of them for the time being. But and see her pause and kind of think about this for a bit. She goes,
She also knows how to cook stuff in the zone. She showed me how.
Oh, okay. Well, I might need that. Well, I'll leave it in your hands to tell the elder and the other chroniclers about their presence among, because I'm assuming that they'll be angling on that.
Yeah, we'll have to get the go-ahead to write them in.
All right. Well, I will take care of them for the time being.
Very true.
If they prove to be a problem, I'm going to dump them off on you. Just remember that.
Okay. I'm sure this one can scavenge like no one's business.
Tiny one. Yep. And Victoria's like, okay. And she'll take the smoke grenade from you and the sunglasses. She leaves you the hockey mask, the hand grenade, the umbrella, and effectively the whatchamacallit, the car. Now, as I understood it, Syntax, you wanted to now approach this woman.
Well, it could be like the next day or something.
Sure. Let's come back to that then. In that case,
Lowell, I think just when we leave, I might just double check in with Victoria, and I might just say something like, "Hey, have you seen a lot of trouble since the riot at your last rally? They causing problems for you? Anyone I need to go clamp down on?"
Not yet. No, I'll keep the low profile with you guys out.
You're good with that. Just remember, I'm here, and I'm pretty pissed off after last time. So I'd be willing to do some violence for you. Just keep it in mind.
I know, but I'm not giving you grub to go and get yourself killed. I'm giving you grub to keep us safe.
Fight. All right. Safety. Gotcha. Later.
Okay. So I will assume that the group will kind of lay low for the next little bit. If you would like, you may do a day's work on this project that we have outstanding. Look at that. What a generous GM here. And to remind you, the project that you have currently in the works, if you can finish it out today, is the...
I think we had 4 successes on it.
Yeah, it's defenses. You have 4 successes out of 8, and you're maybe a little more interested in getting that set now that you know that there definitely are raiders out there with
hell drivers even.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And turning in the stuff is done with the elder, or how does that work?
Generally, you would go. What do you guys want to turn in?
The umbrella and the smoke.
Frags?
Yeah, the frag grenade would be really awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that gets us warfare tech, right?
Okay.
I think it's just a D6.
It's
for each grenade.
I thought it was
2d6 in tech for umbrella.
1d6 for tech for umbrella. It's not a robo umbrella.
Come on.
So let me have someone who didn't roll to have people die roll me a d6, and we'll see how much the umbrella adds.
To roll people die? Yeah.
I'll roll that.
Well, he rolled high, actually. Wasn't it good?
Oh, well, yeah, that's fine. Did someone else roll? It just doesn't always pop up.
No, go for it, Sherry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I can really mess this up. I just...
It's okay.
I know this.
I already messed one up pretty bad.
I was excited because I knew okay, so 2 points.
So 2 points. And now someone roll me a d6 for the tech from the hand grenade.
You want to do that, Fraser?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Of course.
You're just below.
And then Kyle, roll me a d6 for the warfare from the hand grenade.
Hey.
Okay.
Average. Awesome.
So that puts you at
Yeah.
10 for your food supply, 0 for your culture, 7 tech, and 7 warfare.
So we're at the brink for both of those at least.
Yeah.
Ish.
So the 2 skills for the projects you're currently working on are Scout and Force.
Cool.
Who?
Gout?
I don't have either of those skills.
Scout.
Then you
from- I
would roll a stat.
would have 5 dice.
Is that counting your spade?
No. No, that is not. It's just 5
Okay.
hardcore dice.
Well, let's have you roll. You said the numbers. Let's have you roll.
Okey-dokey. Well, it looks like Matt is typing.
Okay.
I've just got a roll ready to go in case we need another one. I've got 7 dice.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you do that then.
Oh, I mean, if we finish this one, like, can other people work on other projects afterwards, or is it?
If you finish this one, then I'm going to let you guys choose another project and be able to start work on that. Yes.
Cool. So maybe it's
mean-
better if I just brute force this one out of the way or get it done, and then you guys have better skills to work on the other thing that we might start. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, here we go. That's not very good.
It's not
That's
the
one
best.
success.
Yeah,
Would you like to push it?
I think so. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. So the way that the gear works is that if I roll, how does that break?
It's a
Yep.
success, so it can't break.
It won't re-roll. It won't re-roll, I meant to say.
All right.
Okay. So you'll take a point of damage, essentially physical damage from straining yourself working on this, but you will generate 2 successes,
Cool.
which pushes it closer to being finished. You're only 2 successes away from completing this.
Nice. Little Rocky montage.
Yep.
Dun, dun.
Or spraying of the rust paint, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll try to.
Trying to finish it off.
Mm-hmm. So 1, and then 4, and then I'll use a spade.
Ooh. Oh no.
So you could push it, but if you push it, you're going to take damage, and your spade will break.
Jeez. I'm gonna use this roll. Whatever, I'm gonna push it anyway.
Okay.
At least I got a success for.
Okay.
So the spade is broken.
So the spade is broken.
So just delete it, or like it
Yep.
doesn't
You
seem
have to
like
buy
there's-
another one.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Sounds
probably
good.
should have pushed again.
No, you can only push once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
impossible.
So-
Okay, and then
we
I
only
take
need one.
I've got wits of 5. I don't have any scout. But I have a shovel, so I can roll.
I've
Would you
got
rather
3
work on
and
a gearhead?
spade, so it may be better if you put your bigger stats to other things.
Sure.
Because I've only got 3.
Do you have a spade?
Spade.
Okay, there you go. Let's see. Of course, if we're basing it on how well you rolled last time, you're going to get 3 successes on 3
Yeah.
dice here.
Can only last so long. So I guess I'll push that one. At least it won't break, right?
Well, it might.
If you roll a 1.
But at least it doesn't break.
Wow.
Pretty bad.
This game hates us.
Man.
Okay, it's gonna take all 4 of us to get 4 dice. Let's
Okay.
do this. Okay.
So I'm confused by this work.
Yeah, I imagine you're whatever you're doing to help with the defenses exhausts you. There's so much stuff to plan that it just becomes overwhelming.
And you're probably inhaling a lot of paint fumes, so you're just.
I got the last one. I got the last one. I don't have to push, so no damage. Everything.
All right.
Fine.
At least a couple of us come out.
And it was my shovel that succeeded, by the way. So I picture me getting frustrated and hitting something with it.
All made in Taiwan.
So defenses, having that up means that you get 2d6 that you get to roll added to your warfare.
Wow.
So odds are pretty good you'll get to the next level in warfare.
Kyle, do it.
I don't know. I just rolled.
I think it came back around to you, Matt. So.
Oh, I thought Kyle hadn't done another. All right, I'll go for it. Should I just roll both?
Snake eyes.
All right.
7. Okay. So that's pretty good.
That's
It takes you
average.
to 14.
That's a good one.
Yep. So let me tell you what that means in terms of the tech levels there. At that level of warfare, you have some more solid fortifications, like scrap palisades, lookout towers, and there might even be some kind of watch patrol that has been established to go with that. So it's both a physical change and a change in how people are handling things. Especially, I mentioned that part of it is the push once reports come back from you that there are raiders out in the wasteland. Like that will push people to actually take it seriously.
And we stole their car.
Yeah. Though again, I'm assuming you don't tell people that.
Makes sense that we got out of there so easily, though, when we were sneaking by. Just the one random guy taking a leak.
Yep.
It feels like Lowell has secretly told us where to go as well. If you look on the map, there's a very clear destination for us.
Oh, you don't have to go there. I just wanted to make sure you had that marked on your map. That's where it was. So this does bring us to a question. The sort of the beginning assembly that we would do each session is, what project do you want to work on next? Let me talk about what's available to you. Cropland is takes quite a bit, but it's 3d6 to your food supply. Slave market is adds to your food supply and warfare. Pigsty is for food supply. Temple for culture. Zone wrestling, like a Thunderdome, for warfare. You could let me jump up here and see what the next thing. Could build a watchtower, which adds to warfare.
We were on the cusp of technology, was it? Or
on the cusp of technology, yes.
Maybe we do one of them.
So the things that increase technology are, go through here.
A lot of them require 10 technology to get more technology.
Ain't it the way?
Or culture to get more technology.
Yeah.
Like the sundial.
We could also do still do stables and tavern. I don't think there's anything else down here very far that we can do. We need tech for most of this good, fun stuff.
Yeah, I think you are right.
So there's not much we can do to put us over tech right now?
Right. In order to get tech, you need to get your culture up a little bit to get access to some other things there. Of course, your culture is 0 right now.
It's true. It's true.
More
like Mad Maxian.
I mean, we could incidentally find some artifacts that could hopefully get us up there, but that leaving things to chance.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could do your stabos.
We could also do temple, which would get us culture if we want to start working on that. But
there certainly was a lot of talk about the LG or whatever. And excuse the cat; she's very upset that I have the time to speak to you, but not pet her.
I don't have the umbrella anymore either, right? We turned it in.
That's correct. Wait, did you? Yeah, the umbrella's turned in.
Yeah, and the frags.
I don't think we need to, a lot of these things get us more warfare, like Watchtower and fighting pits or zone wrestling and stuff like that. Like, I mean, we could go that direction if we want to, but I'd be more interested in getting something else up. So, I like the sound of Temple.
We should keep the car in neutral all the time and just use little mounts.
I also like Tavern. It just needs food supply 10. It only needs 4 work points, and it gets us D6 culture. It uses endurance, sense, emotion.
Boom, done. Let's do it.
Sure.
A tavern? Okay.
Now Lowell can finally say, we meet in a tavern.
You in a tavern. There's a dark stranger in the corner.
I guess Temple and Tavern are both basically equal mechanically, and it's kind of which one we think is more interesting. I kind of think having like some weird cult shenanigans and either the drinkers or the cult of the algae getting bigger sounds interesting to me, but I don't know if my character would necessarily want that. But
yeah, sure, that works for me too. We already have them established. Ish.
Well, here's what I'm going to do: is we're going to put that down. It's going to take 4 work points to get it done.
Can 2, if we're like really ambitious, can like 2 of us make a temple and 2 of us make a tavern? Because that'd be great.
No, because actually you're only allowed to do 1 project per session, and here I am already breaking the rules.
Already pushed it. I'm sorry.
Rules is written. Yeah, blah blah. So
throw that out the window.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is this. I'd like to give us a chance to do some scenes in the arc with each of you individually. Walk through that, see where we're at after that, and then I'll let whoever wants to do a day's work on the tavern and talk about how you want to set that up, and then we'll kind of continue on. Does that seem reasonable? So we're going to assume you guys have been back for several days. Rumors have floated out that you've been out there. Some other people saw the fires in the distance, and now reports have gotten back. They know that Victoria sent someone out. They know that she's got some people, and the rumor is that somebody knows about them and is going to tell the elder about that there are raiders. All of that is kind of filtered out. Maybe not from you necessarily, but probably from Victoria's people. Everyone, stories like these, because you don't have written communication, things like that, are valuable currency. So people spread rumors and info whenever they get them. But you've spent the last 2 or 3 days probably pacing and thinking about this. Thinking about that shiny, sharp sword that woman has. So let's cut back to you, Syntax.
Okay. I have a restless night. I couldn't sleep very well.
How do you want to do this? What do you have to offer her? What can you do?
I could offer her a scrap rifle and DVDs and a bottle of thing. Even a hockey mask. Oh, and I went hunting. Remember, I have 13 contaminated grubs that could feed her.
That's right.
Mutant for many ages.
Right, in a couple days.
Whatever.
Hey, Syntax.
Mm-hmm.
I have a scrap pistol and some bullets, and I think it's much more important that you have a scrap rifle than I have this pistol, and I'm not too worried about using it, so I would be happy to trade that.
For what?
For the sword for you.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Well, I don't know what she wants anyway, though.
Yeah.
Well,
She
how
won't be able to do John Woo stuff like double guns, jump into the air.
Well, the other
horrible
thing is,
fat rot doves fly by?
no, but the other thing that was horrible. The other thing you could do is offer to arrange something for her, like if she wants a place just for herself and her daughter, we could go and seek something out on the ship and set it up. I mean, NEKO knows about locks and getting that stuff set up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what does she want?
Like the food and.
Well, tell me how, because I'm trying to get a good sense of how Syntax presents himself when he goes to talk to her.
Herself.
Herself. Thank you. Jeez, get that back. How does Syntax present herself?
I think she's trying to be really nice, and it's like strange for her. She doesn't want to be the person who like takes away like just robs her or something like that, right? Because I think she has been thinking about them being in that like little compartment in squalor and stuff and like so she, for the first time ever, she's just being pleasant or trying to be pleasant, and it's probably like only half working.
Well, you asked particularly, you wanted to know what she wants. And certainly when you go to meet with her, you're someone that she knows. So she is willing to talk with you. She still keeps her child close by. And
Right.
She's clearly never seen mutations before. And that is also still, I mean, you probably got your wings down. Do you have sense emotion?
Sense emotion? I do not.
Okay. Then why don't you make an empathy roll for me here?
Does it all seem kind of like barbaric to her, this place? Or like, is it kind of like stumbling through and there's like fires and dark and stuff for her?
It's even worse because she can't remember where she came from. Like, she has no memory of what that place was like at all.
Ah.
Oh, pushing it hard right away on that.
Yeah, well, I kind of want the sword.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So she is nervous about being left alone, sort of with Victoria, and I mean, she's got a lot of thugs with her, including Lizardmon, who she kind of is still quite nervous about, since I mean, he's the one who smashed in that barrier that was protecting them in that hole. So you think that this idea of maybe getting her someplace of her own that she could lock, and getting her a weapon that's maybe a little easier for her to use, like the pistol, is probably good leverage for you.
Okay. Sounds good. Like, that's just what I get from our awkward conversation.
Yeah. It goes on. She's like, this place is, I don't remember where I came from, but I know that this place is different. And she points, like, as she points, one of the guys with frog legs hops by outside. She goes, and I know I've never seen anything like that.
Well, I guess your world has changed a lot, but I will do what I can to find you what you need. And I think I might need to even like change I need to protect, because I don't think I feel like that anymore. Because right now, I need to protect is no one. If they can't protect themselves, they deserve to die.
So is this a change? Are you actually feeling honest sympathy?
Yeah, I think so. I think that maybe the reasons why she hadn't felt it before was because this person presents like a lot more differently than the people on the arc, who are really like cutthroat about what they want and need. And what I've seen here and experienced with, like, my best friend dying, and then there's like no justice and stuff like that, whereas this person is like, you know, afraid for her mutant child and whatnot, but is not like overly aggressive and being reasonable about what they want and stuff. And I think it's just like a change of speed compared to the arc, where I'm very much picturing it like Mad Maxy-ish. Maybe not as bad as that,
but she's certainly, you could tell from her reaction that she hasn't seen anything quite like this. This is not her thing. I will say, if you switch your thing to protect her, and you get the pistol from Obakai, and then you tell me how this plays out, she will trade you the sword, but you have to give me the story of how this plays out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll change it. And do we even get her name?
Her name is
Beira.
Down Beira.
How do you spell that?
Beyra.
Yeah.
And her daughter is Ellen.
Ellen, Last of Us. Yeah.
That's why that name was in my head when that was going on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I need to protect them in part because they're fulfilling a dream of mine as well, right? By giving me the sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I need as well. And I think that the change is in myself because, yeah, like I said, it was like not something that I expected when, like, I think her outright empathy and like motherly instincts for Ellen is what actually changes me, because I don't think that I've given myself space emotionally to see that. And I'm sure some of that still takes place in the arc as well, but it hasn't been something that I've wanted to see before. But in this was like thrust upon me kind of, so I had to pay attention to it, and by doing so then it changes me. And I think I have like a sense of obligation to her, basically, because of her willingness to give up the thing that she has been protecting her child for up until now. So I've kind of like taken it upon myself to do the work that she was doing with the sword before, so I can get it.
That sounds great. You'll probably have to talk to one of the fixers who can get you space. Obviously, your gearhead can help you with the locks and get that set. But you'll end up having to go and talk with Millix, one of the fixers, and kind of negotiate on that. And Millix is like, so, okay, I can do this for you. I can get this done. I got some spaces. People sometimes move out of places. There are places that are covered that are better to be at, that keep watch, that nobody's laid claim to. I can get you one of those spots. But maybe you do me a solid.
I have shiny discs for you.
Oh, she actually takes those. She goes, okay. Oh yeah, I'll take these because this looks like cheap shit that I can trade to idiots.
Definitely, you could definitely trade that to idiots.
Okay, yeah. Wait.
Not you, of course. You are a savvy business person.
That's right. That's right. And you know it, Stalker Lady. That's how it's going to be.
And that is fresh from the zone just for you.
Oh, because I hope you washed it off.
Definitely.
Okay. A long pause.
Yeah.
And she'll get a space for you. Beira will be thankful, and she will say, "You don't. Why are you doing this for us?"
I haven't ever seen somebody protect, what do you call it? A child?
Daughter.
Like you protect anyone. I used to feel that way about somebody and they passed. So I'm not pretending like I'm a good person. I'm not a good person, but I have your back and my word means something.
All right. And she will take the pistol from you, and the bullets, and she will hand you this katana.
Woohoo! Yes. So what do I get when I realize my dream?
You'll get an experience point this session for having realized it.
Oh, cool.
And you get a katana, which has +3 to fight.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
And 2 damage.
Excellent. Okay.
Colorama.
What? Dollarama Redonda. Yeah, nice. No, it is obviously the same sword that is used in Kill Bill from that guy who builds them in Japan.
Absolutely. I'm sure it's a movie replica that has stayed around.
Not a replica. It is
Right.
one of the swords from Japan. And they used it, you know, as like what they based the props on. But this is the legit one.
You probably have, like, one of the discs probably has a picture of a woman in a yellow suit with a sword, and you're like, oh, it's just like this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have like
My new dream is to get a yellow jumpsuit.
actually it would be funny if like yeah, that would be a difficult one to acquire. Big dream there, but yeah, maybe I even have like a couple movie posters on my wall, and one of them is the Kill Bill one. So the
I like it.
watching the movie understand.
And you think her name is Kill Bill? You're like, I must find a suit to become like Kill Bill.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Let me cut from you. You admiring your new sword. Let's go over to Obakai.
Sure.
So when you get back in and you push people who've been in your bunks out of there and take that back over, what's your next deal? What do you want to be doing?
What do I want to be doing?
Yeah.
I think that having found these people, having found Beira and Ellen out in the zone, this is a sign to Obakai that there are more like them out there. They said that they came from the Pink. I think he might want to find out more about what that might be. And he also might want to talk to some of the others in Brictoria's gang and kind of tell them the story of what happened and get people sort of amped up to go out and find more like them.
Interesting.
Fuck that. We stay here. We just built some fences.
Yeah. So is your main purpose information gathering, or is your main purpose sort of getting that amping up of the locals to that end?
I'm just trying to think of like how this is gonna like play out in the future, and how this will play a role in like the group doing this stuff. Because this is
what your techniques are for getting this, because you're an enforcer and your primary tool is intimidation.
Yeah. I think this is maybe like a side thing that's happening. Okay. Like this is Obi's dream, but I don't know if it needs to be the focus right now because it's definitely a little bit on a tangent. I think maybe what he is doing is, Brictoria told him that she doesn't have need of him to do anything specific, but I think he wants to, after what happened at Brictoria's latest rally, when she was trying to get more people on board with her cause to, push out into the zone and find new resources, and Orion, brought some goons over there, paid off some drinkers, maybe a riot went down. And Orion is staunchly, anti-mutant. He claims that, going out in the zone is like an impure thing, and all that business. So I think he wants to make a bit of a statement. I think he wants to round up some goons. Maybe he gets Bosco. I don't know if he's a fighter, but a few others. And I think he wants to go out looking for some of the people that he saw responsible for that whole ordeal.
So you'd like to track down, see if you can find separated out some people that are known to be part of Orion's circles?
Yeah, and not specifically just like part of his circles. Like, we don't want to just go beating up random people that are involved with him. Like, obviously they're not the best people if they're totally on board with what he's about. But I think we want to specifically go after the people that were at that riot, and we saw, doing violence to our people, the instigators of that, and we want to send a bit of a message.
Okay.
Do a bit of intimidation.
Intimidation, or are we actually trying to seriously take somebody like a person out?
I think it's more like rough them up and let them know that we're not just going to take this lying down. I think Victoria is kind of just like let it blow over, like it's not a big deal. But I think Obakai is not happy about their whole deal, because he is kind of the epitome of what a mutant is in this world. Like, he is the most they are the most non-human person in the arc, basically. And I think that what Orion puts forward offends them greatly, and they want to do something about it.
Okay.
So it would probably be more about intimidating. There might be some roughing up involved, but
yeah, I'm trying to think how to resolve that out. So I think I'm going to have you roll intimidate, and we're going to do this as sort of a broad thing. However, one of the things is you might be able to get a couple people together with you, but you certainly, Victoria has said not to do this. Kind of in a disadvantage in terms of numbers and force against what Orion can bring to bear here. So I'm going to have you roll intimidate, but I'm going to have you drop 2 dice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. The only thing I wonder is if there'd be any way to kind of set up for this by either scouting or sneaking to try and, isolate these people or find them in a good place to kind of do this.
I mentioned that's absolutely what's happening.
Right.
The more question is, what kind of message are you sending? And while you might be able to get a few people sneaking around and getting them and things like that, the modifier is about what message is getting back to Orion, how seriously he takes it. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely. Where should I drop the dice from?
I would say drop it from the stat.
Okay.
Because that's the worst number.
And I wouldn't even have enough in the skill to drop 2 anyways. All right, here we go. Oh boy.
He's scary.
So, and recovering strength would involve
that involves food and involves rest. And if you burn through all of your strength, then we roll on the critical hit chart.
Okay. And if I push here, am I only re-rolling 2 dice, or is it all 4?
So
can I be helping him? Since he gave me a pistol, maybe I'm paying him back, helping him beat people up or whatever.
Suffer the consequences.
Yeah, that's fine. He lent me the pistol and I have a sword.
So here's what it is right now you're looking at taking 2 damage if you re-roll, and you would only be re-rolling those 2 dice. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a die from Fraser in just a sec.
I just showed up now. What up? Save your day.
Should I roll that 1 die from Syntax first, or should I push first?
Let's have you roll that. Just roll this flat D6.
All right, 1d6. Hey!
Okay. So that's 1 success.
That's what happens when you give me pistols, people.
I think I'm okay with that. I only have one grub, so it's going to be a bit tough to recover all that. So I think I'm just going to keep that the way it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Syntax.
So you will find, as you described, some people. You'll catch some of Ryan's folks out on their own. People who are known and affiliated with them, and not just minor people, but people who have some pull. And you will do some roughing them up. You'll push hard on them. And how does Syntax? How does she assist you?
Maybe in the background when they're yelling at them, then maybe I am in the back with my katana glinting. The light refracts from it. They're like, "Oh shit, that could cut a god."
Yeah, so you look back and you see Syntax is kind of looking at her sword, sort of absorbed, but she does look scary. And yeah, you will send a message. Now, you've got sort of two choices here.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the success here, because you got one success. This is kind of a tough position here. You've got some modifiers here. Are you more trying to get him to lay off Victoria for a bit? In which case it's kind of be a little bit louder and Victoria may find out what you did. Or are you more interested in kind of drawing his fire and taking the heat off Victoria that way?
The second one definitely sounds wiser and more noble, but I think that Obakai has not thought it through that much, and I think it's more that they would think that by letting them know that there's consequences to their actions, they're less likely to get in the way of what Victoria is trying to do and buy her some space to kind of expand her operation and her gang and get the message out there more without having it constantly interrupted. So that's what he's hoping will happen from this. But it's probably not the wisest decision.
All right. Orion isn't in a position right now to strike back because they've got two choices too. When you go to intimidate somebody, they have two choices. They can either smack back at you. They have to choose smack back at you or hold off for a bit. So they're holding off for a bit, but the kind of cost to you is that word has gotten back to Victoria that you disobeyed her. And we'll come back to those potential consequences in a bit. Does that seem cool?
That sounds cool.
Okay. Let's cut to Silas. Silas, let me ask you a question here. Just before we begin again, tell me about this dead woman.
So the way I'm seeing it kind of play out in my head, I've got two confusion antidotes. So I'm thinking we do the project or whatever, right? And then I am, in a space where I need to get my hit of the algae sauce, and I go down there and smoke up or whatever, I guess, and then I go to where I have the body stashed, and whenever I'm high and stuff, here, there, in there, and the body, to me, it seems obvious that I have to do something that if I bring the body back to the rot, that it might accept her and bring her back to life. So when I'm high, after that, I go back to the quarters, and then I just kind of start talking to the corpse, I'm coming home to my wife kind of thing, and being like, oh yeah, we were just in the zone and everything, and I've got a little mirror in there, and we're seeing it. And I was also thinking that it might be interesting to have the maybe the the little kid. The kid sneak off and like follow me and see me with the corpse or something, maybe.
That's super creepy. Okay, yes. and the probably we get some shots of you. We see you talking to the corpse, and then when we cut back, we see her alive, and she's like, "Go on, tell me more." And then you had to stab that guy. How did that feel?
Yeah, and it was
good to kill him or no?
I really felt anything almost. Like it was, you kind of expect to feel something in that situation, but it was almost just like something I had to do at the time, and then it was done, you know?
That's tough. That's tough. Maybe when you go and meet with Davin, you'll have that same thing, and you'll be able to do what you want to do then, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is all meant to prepare me for what's to come.
Yeah.
And then we can go back.
Absolutely. You and I can go back. Once Davin's out of the way, you can just put that knife between his ribs and drop him off the side.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a great time voicing that. Oh, sorry.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And she'll say, "What do you want to do?"
Well, I think God knows what I'm prepared to do, that it'll take you back. It'll take us back. We can go back, and things will be better. You'll be alive again. That's
right. I will be. There's no doubt of that.
So I'm thinking whenever he's suffering doubt or something, that's when he needs the hit of the mushroom sauce there.
Absolutely. I will let you clear your doubt and confusion there. You psych yourself back up by talking to this corpse. We cut to the shot of Ellen out in the hallway, her eyes getting wide as she sees you babbling to the dead woman, and then just this little pitter patter of metal as her on her feet as she runs away.
Yeah, maybe I hear like some metal, like some tink tink tink, and I look outside and don't see anyone. But I was actually thinking it might be a way for Syntax to endear himself to if the kid disappears and then he has to like bring her back or something. But
so how when you go to report in, who do you report to? Do you report to? Are there a group of chroniclers? Is there a chronicler that is the aide de camp to the elder? Do you go meet with the elder? What do you imagine that is?
I don't know. Maybe there might be an aide for the elder just because he's so old, maybe.
Okay.
A filter, maybe.
Okay. So let's give that guy a name. Azazel. And he says, Silas, you're back. I've heard rumors that there was a great story that you've gathered from the zone, and that there are newcomers.
Oh yes, there was a struggle, 3 acts, beautiful.
Oh, was there the thing that the rising arc that the elder spoke of?
Oh yes.
And the détonnement.
Yeah. Yeah, a total climax, and we've got new people here to bring up our numbers.
That is good. As several passed, you missed some of the funerals. One of our chroniclers passed, a junior one.
Oh no! What happened?
It seems that he was indulging in the algae.
Oh.
And some of it infected him, and it was not pretty.
Perhaps he wasn't meant to be a chronicler.
Well, perhaps he was not meant to be alive. But in any case, let me see your journal.
I'll hand it over, and I'll like kind of read him through it, and like embellishments here and there. I'll be like, and this blood here is from the man that I took down myself.
Oh, you killed someone?
I had to. When you're out there, it's totally different from here. You have to do what you got to do to survive.
I've been out there, I understand, but I've never had to stab anyone.
Yeah, well, you haven't been that far out, right? So
You see him kind of bristle at that suggestion that perhaps he is.
I actually kind of find myself identifying with those stalkers. They go so far and do so much sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you will see that the sort of the door that Azazel watches comes open, and you see the elder. What does the elder look like, Kyle? Man,
I'm
woman?
thinking he's pretty old. Maybe he's got someone to help him. Even maybe the aide. I don't know. Maybe he'd like rush over and like kind of
runs over and kind of takes his elbow.
He's like pretty fragile, pretty frail. Everyone knows that he's kind of about to go, and that's kind of got the tensions high there too, right? He can barely even like chew his own food and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you say, you said there were new people.
Yeah, the two of them. One of them is like us. I didn't see any. They're all quite smooth, quite pink.
Like the possesses a mutation.
Maybe it could be that they're born to like swim faster or something. I don't know. And another one is clearly evolved to scavenge very well. Very small, very quick. I'm not sure. Not doesn't have the intellect in her eye quite, but I'm sure she could.
Bring them to me.
Okay, right away. And then I'll turn back as I'm going and be like, check out that story. There's some good stuff in there. And that'll go back.
And when you go out, you'll definitely see that the other chroniclers have gathered, because of course you've come back with a new story, and you'll get that site where you'll see that definitely looks like Davin has some people around him, like some other chroniclers that are kind of hanging with him, like a little bit of a posse there that. He sees you, and that little gears go, and then he remembers that incident a few days ago.
I'll just kind of jump in and be like, "What news, Davin? Any stories from the zone? Anything that could possibly compete with my masterpiece?"
No, you certainly have the greatest story at this moment.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you'll fabricate something soon enough.
And do you want to get out of dodge here before he reacts to that, or do you want to get in his face?
I'll just kind of like move past him and see what happens. I'll just like I have to bring some of the people we brought back from the zone for the elder, of course. So to do, I gotta try and brush past.
He leans in as you brush past, and he says, "You don't want to be on the wrong side of history when this goes down."
And I said, "Depends who's writing it, of course."
Precisely.
I kind of like nod my head and go by.
Okay, and you hear somebody go, "God, he smells like algae."
Do all of the chroniclers like free brace algae?
No,
that's. I don't think so. That'd be like a kind of embarrassing thing to find.
Because it seemed like that Azazel guy was like, "Yep, people are just hitting that algae again." So.
He was like, "That's a bad thing. Like one of our people got hooked on it. Not good."
Yeah,
he did.
And I kind of saw of it as more like, if he was worthy, he would have been able to handle it, kind of thing. Whereas,
got all kinds of rationalizations for it.
Oh yeah.
When you end up bringing Byra and Ellen to the elder, he checks them and she's a little freaked out. Keep her calm.
Like both
but
of them?
it's like, and he goes, I wish to speak to them alone, Silas.
Are you sure? Like, I couldn't, just be here for this. I would really like to know as much as possible for the story.
Roll manipulate.
Okay. Manipulate 1. Ooh. Yes.
He's like, all right, but stay in the corner, and whatever we discuss, must promise me that you will not speak of it outside this room.
Okay, yes. It's off the record, as they say.
Yes. And he begins to talk to Ellen and Beira, and he's kind of peppering them with questions about what they remember or where they're from, and this, that, and the other thing. And she clearly has no memory. Like it's been removed. But the elder keeps coming back to, but when you left, were there doors? Were there big, large doors? Do you remember anything like that? And she's like, I don't remember anything. And you don't remember who it was who was there. Did you have anything with an insignia? Anything with a mark? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And eventually the elder will get exhausted.
Pretty quick, I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and finally he's like, okay. And he will turn to you, Silas, and he says, they are not like us. But in a good way. They do not, unlike you, they do not possess powers, gifts, mutations.
Do you mean like of Eden?
I don't think they're from Eden. Yeah. I'm tired.
Of course. I'll kind of like tell them, motion them back, kind of thing.
Okay. And Ellen and Beira will go with you. Beira is clearly a little defensive. You see, she's still got her pistol, tightly gripped under her jacket there.
I'll say it's okay. We just, how important information is when we don't know anything out here, or we haven't had our memories wiped, but it's almost the same, right? We almost know nothing.
Oh, all right. I'm going to cut from you over to NEKO.
Hey.
What are you doing, NEKO, besides setting up a ventriloquist trick in Silas's room?
I'm so cool. And no one else knows about all the intercoms that
Right.
are up throughout the ship. Anyway, I'm figuring that what I'm doing is trying to work out a still, because I've got to work up fuel for my car. So that's my trick.
Okay. So we're going to have you make that. I think that's a jury rig roll for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have you roll, and then let's talk about some component things.
Okay. All right. Now this is of course going to be just gorgeous. Okay, so my skill is going to be 5.
Okay.
My wits are 5, and if a nail gun can be useful, of course it can.
Yep.
I got 2 left on that, I think. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to repair that at some point. Okay, so I think I'm going to try to roll this.
Okay.
So I started with 2.
That's 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay with that, you'll create a still that can create 2d6 worth of booze.
One time only?
Yep.
What would I have to do to get it to be able to continuously create it?
Well, can't do something to make it continuously create it, but you can do it to get additional d6s worth of booze.
Okay. So I would be like jury rigging the same thing, right?
Yeah.
2d6 is fine to start.
Okay. So tell me, what's the key piece of scrap that you find that is the center point to this makeshift still that you put together?
Well, truthfully, the most important thing here is all kinds of, tubs and containers and those kinds of things are super important here. And I just managed to luck into a case of those in a back part of the ship, like things that were going to be welded in and weren't. And so I've got a set of those things that I was able to lug back over to my shop and get that set up, plus some hosing, but
And what exactly is it that you're fermenting?
That's a good question. I think that let's see here, what would be good? I think that there are some roots that grow around like the not on the banks, but up from the banks, like where the grass starts. There's some roots that I've found that grow from a plant, and the dogs will eat them if you cook them in the fire. So I figured the dogs didn't die, so we'd be okay. And so I made them from that. So they're probably edible, but I'm not making the booze to drink from.
Okay. So essentially some kind of a tuber root thing that...
yeah.
Okay.
Like artichokes, Jerusalem artichokes, sunchokes, whatever you call them.
All right. Why don't you roll me 2d6 to see how much booze you get out of that?
I'll get 2.
You get more than that.
Oh, 5.
3, 5. So you get 5 doses of booze. It smells foul and unpleasant. Kind of definitely iffy, but it is flammable. And of course, you know that booze are a nice ingredient for potentially making explosives as well.
Cool.
Anything else that you want to deal with? Do you want to check on Elon? Do you want to check on what's going on? What's the society that Gearhead's like? Are you guys all sort of standalone? Is there a place where you guys talk shop?
I think that it's pretty traditional that like every once in a while the signal will go around and we'll all get together for a show and tell, of what we've done. You got to drag the stuff out and you got to have a story and you got to convince them all that it's worthwhile. And then sometimes they'll like the other ones will try to bribe you to figure out like how you did something if they like it. So that's what you're doing it for is hoping that the other gearheads will like it enough to give you some stuff for figuring it out. So,
and we'll assume that there's a swap meet / show and tell that comes up, and people are there. They've got minor things they found in the zone. They ask about did you get anything? They pull out the scrap that they found and bits and pieces. There's some swapping of bullets and stuff. But it will be noted that a couple of the gearheads that work with the Elder and sort of with the whole main processes of the ship, like the machine that goes ping and things and that stuff, that they're not here. They didn't show up.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are they?
What are their names?
Um, poor Russ. Um, and I think Callie, she's older. Well, she's older seeming. She's bossy. She's super bossy. That's why she gets to do the ping machine.
Uh, you'll ask around after a bit, and one of the other gearheads will say, I don't know what's going on, but they got called up. They've been working like round the clock on something up at the top ship. They came down and asked me for some parts, swapped me some bullets for some things, and they seemed really, really agitated.
Huh. Okay. So they're up top ship. You think it'll
Yeah.
be okay? I'll go and see if they need anything that I got. Okay.
Okay.
Also, I'm curious.
When you get up there, you will run into poor Russ. He's got whiskers. It's not a great mutation. It allows him to sense vibrations in the air and things, and he has some sensitivity on his fingers. But he looks exhausted, absolutely exhausted.
I'm like, whoa, poor Russ. What's up?
Nothing's wrong.
I don't. And she kind of leans and goes, "You're way too tired. Something's wrong. Can I help?"
No, we're working on it.
And she sort of stops and says, "Can I get you something to make it easier to work on?"
No, but kind of leans into you. It goes, whatever water stores you've got,
Yeah, that's.
keep a hold of them.
And she kind of goes, "What do you need? I have some friends."
Whatever water stores you have, tell your friends to keep tight on them. Okay, but I didn't tell you this. All right.
Okay.
And he goes back up to heading up to the section where the water filtration unit is.
I want to get in there and see what's broken.
Okay, we're gonna cut from there to I'm gonna do a little general thing, and then we're gonna take our 5-minute break. And the general thing that you'll start to hear over the next couple of days is rumors start to spread around that something is wrong with the water supply, that something is bad, and it's going to be a problem here pretty soon. So we'll take 5, and I'll come back from the break, okay?
Hey, Lo, I listened to your latest interview, the latest episode, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, with Graham, really nice guy. It's interesting to talk to him because he is so deeply kind of in that trad side of things, but he was super nice.
Yeah, it felt like a really genuine conversation, and even though he is deeply into the trad stuff, like it felt like his perspectives were still, just really broadly applicable and interesting either way. Like,
yeah,
I liked everything he had to say.
He's got a very good blog. He writes nice long pieces. I think when I got a hold of him, I kind of pushed him, and he's been posting more. So that's been nice. And some of the other places he mentioned, like the Black Nerd Girls or Black Girl Nerds site is really, really excellent.
Cool. Yeah, I heard
they stream on Twitch too. If you want to watch them play games.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep,
that's
stream.
Cool.
There's a Twitter account that is all about retweeting and promoting various projects that focus on people of color, and it might have been a hashtag that was going around a while ago, but I just remember seeing a whole big like influx of
there was a great set of like a good month where there were a lot of just really interesting artists that I hadn't seen that were getting shared around with some cool hashtags. So that was sharp.
Yeah, I got on a bunch of artists on Twitter that way.
Neat. All right, so this is kind of open-ended now. We've got your guys are back at the Ark. We've got scenes that we can do. I can bring you together. It's up to you how you want to call scenes or what you want to see, or if you want to say now is the time that I want to do my day's work for the Ark. Put the effort in on that. So we had started, I believe, with you, Fraser. So I do want to kind of come back around because you had the longest sort of sit through. So how do you want to do this? Should we bring people together? Do you want to do a scene by yourself? Do you want to do a scene with somebody else? What would you like?
Well, if we had just found out about the water supply, I might go to NEKO about it because I would consider that part of keeping those people safe if they like just get here that they're like, oh, P.S. you can't drink water. That would be tough. So.
Yep. Plus, I'm likely to know things. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You're the smartest person I know.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone, smartest person everyone knows.
So NEKO, when Syntax finds you, where are you? You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
When I grow up, I'm going to figure this out. Okay. So I figure that what she's done is very subtly not set herself up sort of along the railing where she keeps an eye on where the other two gearheads are going up and down trying to work on the repair, sort of trying to watch who's guarding, who's going when, where, because she really, really wants to get in there and see what's going on.
So she's up there, top deck, kind of waiting around, and you can speak with her. Syntax.
Okay. What do you need to get into this place? That could be a distraction or something. All I know is if these boneheads don't figure out the water supply, not a lot of people are going to be around. We already lost
no, right? Yeah, they're being
like, or whatever.
Oh, you can't go in there. Oh no, fresh eyes couldn't possibly be the thing that could help. Yeah. Let's see here. Well, maybe I could be the distraction. They know I'm watching. They're watching for me. Oh, but then if you got in there, you wouldn't know what you were looking at, were you?
Yeah.
This is hard.
Yeah. Maybe what is something that a gearhead would get excited about to come out of there.
Let's see here. Well, let's see here. If I knew what was wrong, I could tell you. Have I seen any of them pulling anything out or bringing pieces out or taking stuff in?
You have seen them taking stuff in, like kind of in boxes and things, but they haven't brought anything out.
What have they taken in?
They're clearly trying to kind of keep that under wraps right now.
Really? Well, there'd be enough boxes that they would have had to throw some of the empty ones out, right?
Okay. I'm liking the way you're leaning into that.
Okay.
I wonder if
let's spy them.
I wonder if it's something that a talented stalker couldn't stake out and scout and see, like you guys could set up a surveillance situation.
Right. I'm trying to place her in the best possible place.
I think Scout is the perfect role for this.
Okay.
Awesome.
So one of you can roll and the other can assist, giving the extra die if you both have Scout.
I bet that you're better at wits.
I'm great at wits. I'm not so good at Scout.
Did you spend your 5 XP from last session yet?
Yeah, I bought Motorhead. Sorry.
Okay. I guess I'll do it then.
Thank you.
I have.
You'll be
4.
great.
Okay.
I have 5 just on wits.
Exactly. Okay. See what happens. Historically, this game hates me. I got 1.
One success. So you will be able to kind of get past. You're looking at the boxes. You're getting past, and let's assume. How is it that what is the thing that you do, Syntax, to get her in so that she can get a couple minutes to look?
I kind of like the visual of me blasting something over the intercom, and then they have to come out and turn it off.
Like your wing buzzing.
Well, or like a music song or something like that. Like maybe I take one of the CDs or whatever, because maybe a gearhead figured out what to do with them, and temporarily put it on so that they have to come out and turn it off.
Okay, yeah, you find you've got a magical Zune that has one song left on it that repeats. It's
Barbie Girl.
It's Barbie Girl or Sister Christian, but one of those two on there, and
something really annoying. They can't handle it.
Fraser, what's the part of your mutation that you can spend points on? Isn't it aggravating or hypnotizing or something? Would you get a mechanical boost for doing that? Is what I'm asking.
I can use it to create an intense buzzing noise that drives people up the walls.
That sounds really distracting.
Yeah,
and you can use it with a point, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to make you spend a point and risk that on here, given that we already have a successful roll on the table.
Right.
The problem is obvious once you get a chance to glance in and see. It looks to you like the main filtration, like the main sort of filter for the pumps there, is missing.
Missing.
And there's a backup pump and filter, but it's that it's not going to be able to handle the pressure.
Time to modify it.
All right. And I think that's it. Is she's like, so next time she runs into poor Russ, she's like, what do you know about what happened to the main filter?
How do you know about that? I didn't tell you, did I? I don't remember telling you.
You only told me a little bit. Here's the thing.
I told you. Oh shit, she's gonna kill me.
Nah, I won't tell anyone else. I won't
You
tell
just
anyone
told
else.
You just told us right now, Russ.
What? No!
Russ,
You're in my mind! Get out of my head!
we need to know what model it was, what it said on its box.
It said filter on the box. It was just in there when we got it. We don't know what's going on. Someone came in and took it.
Someone took it?
Yes.
Whoever took it wouldn't benefit from not having drinkable water, would they?
That would be Orion, wouldn't it?
We don't know. They sent some people down to rough up the drinkers because that's a logical choice, but they didn't seem to know anything about it, or else they just weren't talking.
No. I'd look for, and she kind of goes, when did it go missing?
Just like maybe a day before you guys got back.
Did it go missing during the night, during the daytime?
It's hard to tell. I mean, probably during the night.
Okay. So we got to get it back. It's just whether they threw it in the water or they actually took it back with them.
I don't know.
Do you know, is there any other water filtration places? Like, do they have them out on the rig or on any of the other boats around here?
Ryan probably has something, but I don't think it's the same thing. It might be on one of the, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
We should
Not a
have
computer.
We should have the Apollo 13 scene where there's just all this junk that we put on the table and we're like, we got to make this fit into that using only this.
If only we had a katana, we could make the filter out of a katana.
No way. That's not even remotely like. That makes sense.
Okay.
I want to cut from you two though, and I want to check in with Silas and Obakai. You can either we can tie you into that, or if you guys have something you guys want to do on your own, individually or together, what would you like?
I have a scene I'd like to do with all of us at some point, maybe after, like probably in the evening. So, Kyle, if you have any ideas before that, maybe it could be something to do with the tale that we're telling. What's your relationship with me?
You were the. Did I not write it down here? There was something to do with you being the chosen one. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah.
Is the hero,
don't worry about it.
And but I can't influence you.
Okay. Well, mine is that you understand me. Our fates wait for us in the zone. You will document our expedition. I don't know how much that is true. But I was thinking that maybe if we also heard about the water and we're trying to be proactive, maybe there's something in the Chronicle that we could follow up on. Like maybe somebody recorded something. Do you share the Chronicle with the other chroniclers, or is it just your own?
What was that? You cut out a couple words before that.
Do you share your writings with the other chroniclers? Does it all go into one big document?
So. Yeah, I think we all like tell it, and then it kind of gets like our notes gets translated into like a master story, maybe.
It could be that we found something in the Chronicle to follow up on, and maybe you brought me because I'm like an enforcer, like as muscle or something. If that's a problem you want to work towards, if maybe we could work on a project too, whatever you're thinking.
I was thinking that I would create kind of a distraction by having those two, like when they're inaugurated or whatever, into the society. I thought there might be like a little celebration kind of going on. I was going to take that opportunity to try to shank Davin and then run
Oh my God, can I aid you on that?
And then run off into the rot with my dream girl. Literally.
So that's a possibility.
So I don't know if that's a later thing. If that's like late at night when we're doing like the little bonfire in the bucket with the tails being spread and like they change their name and we go hoo ha or something like that, but some kind of ritual.
I also wanted, like, my scene was going to be to host like a little event at my den, but if you want to just have that be somewhere else, and but I mean, that sounds like, so you want to do this simultaneously while
It doesn't have to be like this could be a thing that happens afterwards as like kind of like a denouement.
do you maybe just want to do our work then and then cut back to them while they finish up the scene, and then we can all cut to us later on?
Sure. Or if we need to like go to Orion or something while they're, are you guys going to Orion, or are you trying to like make your own filters, or what?
Let's do, it sounds to me like you guys need to discuss things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's cut to with you guys having gotten this information, with Silas contemplating how to stab his rival, you coming back from having bloodied your knuckles on some of Orion's people and gotten them kind of riled up. And the four of you can meet. Where would the four of you meet?
I'm going to guess, like, in a sort of awkward way, we don't really have any place else other than kind of outside Victoria's door. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe like everyone's talking about the water, so we all kind of like, what do you like? Water's important. What are you talking about, kind of thing, right?
I have like a little den, and I like to imagine that I've got like a kiddie pool in there, and like fill it up with some like warm liquid and just kind of soak in it. I don't know if any of you would join me in my hot tub, but that would be a fun place.
Probably don't have enough water to do a hot tub right now, unless you can be in rot water.
I was thinking rot water.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I don't know about that.
I put my rot suit on. It's warm. It's cozy.
A place that is definitely probably not very busy is going to be the algae eater's den.
I think it's more likely that we're like, everyone hears about the water situation, so we all kind of like gravitate to like figure out what that's about, and then
we just talk amongst ourselves in the
and then you come like having just found out that it's actually really serious, kind of thing, right?
That seems fair. We'll assume somewhere by Victoria's kind of den, things like that. Does remind me, there's one thing I need to do here before we move on, a mechanical part that I always forget. Some of you have temporary rot points marked on your sheet.
Oh, yep.
Yes, I do.
Okay. When you get back, you can clear those.
Okay.
But for every rot point that you have there, you need to roll, temporary rot point, you need to roll a d6.
Okay.
A d6? Okay.
A d6. So, if you have 1 point, you just roll one die. For any one that you roll on that die, it becomes a point of permanent rot.
Oh.
It only makes sense that Obi is the first to start rotting.
Yep.
Yeah, well, especially if you're another half of it.
Yeah. I want to languish in it.
And you might ask, okay, well, what's so bad about permanent rot? Well, permanent rot stays in your system, and then when you get more temporary rot, you actually have to roll to see if you take some damage.
Okay.
And it's a cascading problem.
Right. I would imagine so.
Yes. So you four are together. There's some kind of like highly obnoxious oil burning lamp that's going there. That kind of that oily smoke is around. Probably the ship is a little bit agitated because now people are starting to hear about the water thing, and maybe people are, making sure that their stashes are locked down, and people are super nervous, and people are kind of scared about what's going to happen. And the four of you can meet with that as sort of the hubbub and background right now.
Did anyone hear about the water? There's some issue about it going on? Something? Nothing?
Nope.
No?
So, Chronicler, I know this is not like the kind of thing you like to hear, but if you promise you won't tell anyone right away.
It happens to me a lot, today? What's going on?
So today I have, well, do you promise?
I do, yes.
You'll wait until we fix the situation, right? Okay. Someone stole the main filter. Backup filter won't be able to keep up.
Why would they do that?
To cause trouble on the big ship?
Ooh.
To what end?
I have one. D-Light. D-Light controls the water, yes?
Yes.
Maybe if someone wanted to get them thrown under the bus, if you will, they could have taken the filter to get them in trouble. I'm sure hell would come down on their heads.
Delight doesn't seem to be in any kind of trouble. I don't think anyone connects it to him.
He should have been watching it.
Bosses don't do anything.
So in other words, you want to hurt Delight because of this.
No, not Delight. Who else might have access to water who would hold the pump hostage or try and gain some leverage by depriving the rest of the ship?
Does the rig have a water supply of its own? Are they independent?
Modest. They have a modest filter system, nowhere near the capacity of the ship, but they do have some out there.
But they wouldn't need it to be at that capacity, right?
Correct. They can sustain themselves, but certainly not too many more than what they've got on the rig.
Would they want to drive up demand for better trade? Is that a thing they would do?
It happened before we
Could
left.
be.
So Obi speaks up and he says, they say, this is Orion's business. First they target the mutants, keep them away from their rig, say that we are contagious, and now he wants to deprive us of our resources, to make it so that we can barely live, to weed us out.
So we go get his filter?
We go get him.
No.
Sounds good.
No, we got to get the other filter. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing is that we got to get this right. Because if we storm over there and kill him and we're wrong, that's just stupid. It's just
You're
stupid.
Right. Knowledge.
But what if? But we'd have a filter, right? We need the filter.
We need the filter. So we got to figure out where the filter went.
No, but if we take his filter,
not the same size. It's got to be like the major size here.
Oh, okay.
I got the part number. It took a while to convince poor Russ, but we have the part.
Yeah, what about, I think if we're all milling about in a crowd waiting to hear about the water and stuff, then why don't we look for the guilty people, right? They'll be sweating it out or like just not present, you know?
Shouldn't we look for witnesses?
Well, wouldn't
Anyone
they
who's
come forward already?
They wouldn't have known what's going on. No one knows that the filter went missing. They just think it's broken. So what we want to do is know if anyone saw someone moving around the top deck that evening.
When we were gone.
And this was before patrols and everything.
Right. That's kind of hadn't gotten that, but yeah. So you want to try and talk around to people?
If we could just make sure we aren't making a huge mistake before we go and storm Orion's rig, which sounds incredibly dangerous. I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But
it seems like something that would bring people together, though.
Yeah, just killing someone who might be trying to kill us, that's always a fun time. But
well, I mean, like not having the thing we need to live.
Exactly. Wait. Anyway, gonna find out if there are any witnesses.
I think to kind of find someone that can give you some solid information is going to be a sense emotion.
Sense emotion. That seems like something I should be able to do.
I can help with that.
I have, 1 skill and 4 stat.
Nice. I only have 2 stat, but I have it. So a die for you.
Woohoo. Now,
Does anyone else have it?
Do a thing like that.
I also have it.
Well, we might need 2 rolls. We can like spread out and like cover more ground, maybe.
I'm willing to have 2 rolls because that means 2 chances for failures. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
It might be better to. Yeah, I guess you get more dice that way. You just get more chances for more people taking injuries and stuff.
Okay.
I got 1.
Kyle, so you got 1 success. Sherry, are you going to roll?
That's a little something, something.
Sure, I'll roll.
And that was with my aid, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I put another die in the skill.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
1-1.
So I'm going to answer the question that is kind of outstanding on the table with Silas's investigation. And then I'm going to turn to you, Sherry, and let you, with your investigation, do a follow-up. How does that sound? So people are super tense. You're asking around. You will hear that, Delight is actually the most sort of angry now that the engineers have kind of had to tell him what's going on and that he didn't know for a couple of days. And now he's found out, and he's pissed at poor Russ and Tally for not telling him sooner. And he's also very, very publicly, very vocally said that he believes it's Orion, and that he's essentially not yet, but it looks like he's probably going to declare war on Orion, which is going to create a whole host of problems up there. Marlot, of course, is in the middle between Delight and Orion, and so she has to decide what to do. But it's getting nasty and tense, and you're asking around about this, Silas, and eventually you will run into one of the slaves, the laborers who works up there, essentially serving some of the chroniclers. Male or female?
Male.
Okay. This guy's name is Forgus. And you're asking about it. Yeah, I was. I kind of say the date and you see him count. That was just after they had the night fires. Couple of days after that, right?
Yep, that should be right.
That was the time that there was the night fires.
Yeah.
And okay, so yes, so I saw some people around up there. Well, one person that was around up there. Yes.
Did you recognize them? Are they from one of the bosses around here?
No.
So they must have been
No, it wasn't one of the bosses. No, not one of the bosses.
But anyone that you know from the boat, or do you think it's from someone?
Oh no. Yes, it was Tirsil.
Tirsil?
The chronicler.
Oh, the chronicler.
Yes.
And he was with some other people, and they went down there. And they came out.
I saw him up there around that time. I thought it was odd. It's not his area, but I saw him up there.
That is strange.
There might have been other people around, but I didn't see them. But I saw him up there at that time.
That's weird. Well, thanks for the help.
But I mean, I can't prove it.
Right.
You can't ask him, so I don't know.
Yeah, that does put us in a tough spot, doesn't it? But if I called on you to tell others what you told me you would?
If I had to, I mean, he can't punish me, so
I suppose. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sherry, what's your follow-up?
So just to clarify, is Tercel the young scribe that died down in the LG Eater's place?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't think I picked up the name. Okay. Who was Tercel running with, the LG Eaters or Davin's crew?
You'll talk to some people. Tirsa was a junior. He was the least competent of the chroniclers. All of the chroniclers learn their letters. They're the only ones right now in the place that are literate. So they are they're kind of elitist. Silas has a lot of skill. Davin, some of the others. Tirsol wasn't keeping up. So he had turned to indulging in the algae more to try and have prophetic visions. So he's primarily involved with them.
Okay. Then I suppose that we start from down there and work backwards to find out where Tirsel took it and left it.
Sounds like he needs stalking.
We do, on boat stalking.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be easy to track him 2 days later.
It might be cool to try and figure this stuff out while everyone else is gearing up to go to Orion. So you have to find something concrete to stop war kind of thing.
Stop war.
Stop war. To prevent war, find the galaxy.
Lul, how open would Delight be to speaking to any of us? I mean, I don't have a sense of our stature. I'm thinking not great, but I don't know, because everyone's kind of not great.
Everyone's not kind of not great. None of you are associated with a boss except for Obakai. Silas has some status as a chronicler. Gearheads have some valuable. I mean, all of you have some valuable skills. There aren't that many stalkers. There aren't that many gearheads.
At least we're just coming in off a fresh story, right? So people might at least know who we are. True.
You brought strangers.
I was thinking that the scene that I might want to have later is having a bit of a war council, potentially inviting Delight to show up and inviting Victoria, either talking to her before about it. But Obakai is pushing for a united force. He wants to get momentum against Orion and do that. So that's his stance.
Who's with me? Come into my pool.
So let me do a quick scene then with Obakai, and then let me cut back to you investigating then. So Obakai, you want to push Victoria to go and fight Orion? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I want to do that, but I wonder if Obakai So here's what I'd like to do. To do my day's work for the tavern, I was thinking it would be fun to have a scene later with all the PCs involved, to invite NEKO to bring some of the booze. Maybe the still could be used for the tavern or something like that, or the same technology or something. So we could advertise the tavern, and that could be my way of contributing to it. And then also at the same time, I'd want to do a meeting with a few of the bosses, kind of in the back alley, or not back alley, but just a conspiracy kind of thing.
All right, so that's a bunch of stuff there. So yeah. Let's because we got to take this piece by piece. So what is step one for you?
Well, I mean, not all that stuff necessarily needs to happen. It was just kind of a setup for all of us to get together at some point. But I think the main idea of it is that he might I'm sure Victoria needs convincing, and she probably wouldn't take very well to it if he just like invited Delight and her to a meeting or something like that. So he probably would approach her first, even though he's very passionate about it.
Okay. So Victoria is there. You see that she's talking with some of the other people there, what gearheads that she has and others, and they're assessing the water that they have and what the possibilities are. And she will look up as you come in, and she'll say, "What is it?"
Well, I've heard the word that water's running low, and I know that we don't have as much saved up as some of the other gangs.
I don't know where you're getting that info.
Well, I just know that they've been hard on you recently, and I've seen how they treat you, Victoria. I've seen not only Horion, but many of the others. I've seen that they look down on you for your beliefs, and for my beliefs, for our beliefs.
You say they disrespect me?
They disrespect all of us. All of us who look like this. All of us who see a future out in the zone, who don't want to stay here under the Elder's rule.
You know what disrespect is for me?
No, I suppose not.
Clearly you don't. Because when I say to you to do or not do something, you are to obey. Not obeying is disrespect. And then you come in here and you tell me what the sitch is, what the deal is. That's how you think this is going to go.
Boss, I am sorry for how I've offended you. I acted with passion and irrationality and impulse.
Yes, you did. Now I want you to listen to me very, very closely. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
I know you want to go out in the zone. I know that you believe that there are people out there, and we now have some proof to that. But if we go out there as it is, we're all going to die. We need to be ready for that. We need to be prepared, and that means everyone here has to be prepared. That means we do not march into a fight, throw our people away, waste our grub, waste our water, waste all of that. If Delight and Orion and Marlot and them, if they want to go to war, there's a reason I'm this far down on this end of the ship.
Boss, if I may say one thing.
No.
I want to...
What do you want to do?
I want to try and sense emotion here, and I want to see if there's some way that I could appeal to her to sort of get back in her good graces and,
Sure. Go ahead and roll sense emotion.
Cool. I just put my second point into it, so I have 2 in it, even though I only have 2 empathy. But
okay.
Oh, she should have on like an old obey sweater, so she's like, "You need to obey." Point to her chest.
Woo.
She is adamantly against any kind of like open conflict now. The water situation has her stressed. Mm-hmm. If you can fix that water situation, then that's the way that you can get back in her good graces. do something constructive for her.
Okay, that sounds like something I can do. I think what Obakai, he might not communicate this to her now because I don't think she wants to listen to him. But what he intends is if she doesn't want to go to war in this case, we can use this more as social and societal leverage over Orion to kind of get the popular opinion that, of him just down generally, that he doesn't respect the community, because he's been really trying to do the same to us, like shutting down our rallies and that whole deal.
Certainly that's something you can work on afterwards. And you will also sense with the sense of motion that she didn't play too hardball with you, because she could have done the manipulate and crushed you with doubt.
And she could have gotten more physical too, just with the goons.
All right, so let's cut to the other three. Obakai is headed off to kind of talk to his boss. What's the step here from a stalker, a chronicler, and a gearhead?
Hey, stalker, chronicler, and gearhead walk into a bar. Gearbread. Yeah, I know. Words are hard some days. So essentially, it's pretty clear Obakai wants to go to fighting, and that the stuff with Delight is moving towards that. Any KO doesn't want any of that shite going down. Okay? Like, her skinny frame is going to get whooped, so she doesn't want any part of that. She's very much.
And Elon will probably be in the middle of it too.
Who will?
The person you're trying to protect.
Oh God, yeah, exactly. Okay. So I think the only one among us who is well equipped to speak some sense into Delight would be the chronicler. And fortunately, he's also the one that knows the most about the LG eaters.
But I probably wouldn't be spreading that info around.
Yeah, may not know how much he knows about the algae eaters. Like when you say algae eaters, he's like, oh no.
Oh, algae bad. Wow, it killed that one guy.
Yeah, that Tearsel guy. Okay, so I think that I will plea with you to go and speak to Delight, and we will begin tracking back and trying to find that filter and where Tearsel may have taken it.
Okay, and what am I talking to Delight about?
You're going to say, hey, it might not have been Orion. We got word that there was someone, around, but he's dead now, and we're going to see if we're going to find out what happened to it.
Like, hold off, bro.
So is Delight the one on the warpath right now, mostly?
Yeah, because they didn't tell him, and he's kind of the one who disperses the water, who has that.
But is his wrath mostly directed to the engineers, or is it to Orion right now?
Orion is who he's going to pin it on at this point.
He's upset with both, though. Lowell had definitely said that he was not pleased that they hadn't told him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's going to kill them for that.
Yeah,
he needs them now.
Okay, yeah, I'll go and...
Good luck.
Okay.
Do you need support? Because we can go and stand in the doorway when you talk to him. It's just you need to do the talking because you got the skills.
No, it might be more important that you guys do go and track down that water thing, because I think if you don't find it, no matter what I say, something's gonna have to get done, and it's not gonna be good.
So let's cut to Delight. I've got a picture of Delight there. He's got the nicest quarters up at the top ship.
Right.
I imagine he's the one who collects all of the things that make music, the Zunes and the iPod, and all of the other M3 players and stuff. And he's up there. You're a chronicler, so you don't represent a particular threat. But it is odd when you arrive, and some of his goons we'll show you in, and he's talking there, and he looks up and sees you. Hey,
Hey there.
you're the Silas, right?
That's me. Yep. I have some information that you might find interesting.
Oh, all you chroniclers say that, and then you start talking, and a lot of the time, not so interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think since things are getting a little crazy in here, you might want to listen to what I say, just so we can, make sure that things calm down tonight, so that we can have our ceremony and everything gets back to normal.
Wow, what's the word, chronicler kid?
So I have a source that tells me that it was another chronicler, actually, that was down there fooling around with the filter supply, or the water supply, and with the filter. And he was in deep with the algae eaters.
The algae eaters? The algae eaters went with the filter.
I don't know. But
filthy drug heads.
I guess they would take anything they could get their hands on. Maybe they plan to barter it later when their needs are greater. Maybe they just didn't think it through all that much.
So let me ask you this. Let me talk mechanically here. You've got a couple of ways that you can push on this, Kyle. You could try and do a manipulate. You could try to do an inspire if you wanted to kind of try to push hard to really convince him. Or you could just leave it in his head and let him do what he wants with it.
I'm going to try to... I don't know if it would make sense to inspire, but I'll definitely try to manipulate.
Okay. I think he has some respect for your position. He's curious about the situation. You fed him a little bit of information. Sides don't really matter. Yeah. So let's just do it flat with your roll.
Yes. 2.
Seems it kind of you spell the information to him. You spell it out. He's like, okay, I'll talk to this slave, this Forgus, and I'll make sure that it's on the up and up, like you said. You've brought me this info. What do you want me to do?
I think right now that the most important thing is for us to fortify our position rather than extend ourselves right now. So I think it's best if we can get the filter back, right? So that we're not in a dire situation, and that you can reestablish your control over the water, and 2, so that everything can get back to normal, so that we can have our ceremony tonight. We can bring those 2 people that we brought back into the fold. If you know Syntax and NEKO, be down there looking for the algae eaters, trying to figure out what's going on down there.
Okay. I tell you what, as a favor to you, I'll hold position. I'll stay cool. If I get the filter back soon, I won't fuck anybody up.
All right, so how much time have I got?
Let's say till tomorrow morning.
Okay, fair enough.
That seem cool?
That's great.
Right.
In the meantime, I'll send Fergus by, and he can confirm what I said.
Okay. All right.
Run out.
Hey, are you with Davin?
He's another chronicler.
No, I mean, are you with Davin's crew?
No, definitely not.
Fair enough.
Why, did you hear anything about him?
We'll talk later.
Hold that thought.
So I imagine we cut to NEKO and Syntax heading down into the bowels of the algae eater's lair, right?
Does one of you have a narrative going on? Like, it was dark down there, real dark.
It's not the first.
We better leak that up for when Silas gets here and wants to know.
Yeah.
I would assume that we've become accustomed enough to listening to it that it is sort of as close to joking as we get. Is then we turned a corner. But that's it.
This place is at the front of the ship. This is a sort of a big front area where there would have been like ballast and water pumped into for things like that. So it's a big chamber. And there have been like makeshift huts and things built up around in here. And it's all kind of lit by a soft phosphorescent glow. The algae that's down here. And there are people moving around, and there are some shallow pools. And you'll see that there's some people, and they are laying in those shallow pools, kind of arms outstretched. What they've got kind of like, it's like lightning bugs, when you crush them, you get that sort of liquid, that sort of goo. That's what they've got on their lips from eating the algae. And they're all kind of floating around. And kind of looking around. It's very much sort of the den of the opium eaters down here.
Are they like talking and murmuring, or are they just laying there?
Some of them are talking to themselves. Some of them, their eyes are wide open and looking off in the distance and clearly seeing something. Some of them look like this is clearly their lives.
Like they never leave?
Yeah.
Gross. So they like pee in the algae pools too. Gross.
Yep.
That's why it's so healthy in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm glad we don't know that Silas is a drug addict.
It's probiotic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I'm gonna be looking for any signs of, traces that this person might have left.
Well, I'm going to have you make a scout roll because you're kind of moving through here, checking it out. This is one of the most dimly lit areas. It literally is only lit by the algae here.
Right. Gross. Did you see the I found an actual candy bar that says Delight on it?
Oh, God.
Turkish Delight.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That was my reaction.
So much Turkish Delight.
Well, it's a different kind. It looks like
it might be not quite as nasty.
It's chocolate covered thick jelly. That's
Ugh.
Well, Delight likes his delights.
So what'd you get for scout?
1, 3. All right. 2. Wow, that's pretty good.
2. So
myself 2.
So you two will make your way down towards the bottom and kind of are scanning around, and you will see there are some enforcers, and they're kind of standing around, and they've got some other people who are like gathering the moss, gathering the algae. They're taking it up, and they're putting in things, and you will see them kind of scoot around so you can get a line of sight into this kind of shack And as the door opens, kind of get into position, and you can see that they're taking the algae and they're putting it in this device. And you see them putting it in there, and you can hear this kind of rumbling from the device. And you'll see that from the other end of it comes out this phosphorescent glowing liquid into it as they essentially run the algae through the purifier and make the most potent liquid algae they can.
You mean that they use the filter?
Yes.
I kill them all.
And that's what we'll take up next week. Does that seem okay? A good stopping point here since we're at the 10:30 mark? I'm going to dole that experience.
I guess that other chronicler was just hard up trying to get at that LG, and they were like, bring me the filter. And then they killed him.
Well, maybe he was, part of the process, and he tried the new potent algae, and that's what killed him, right?
Yeah.
We just didn't get the mix right at first.
At first, yeah.
Takes a few bodies. I mean, 4 people died. Who knows who it was?
Or maybe the stuff is so potent that you can actually start to OD pretty easily. Maybe he just got down underneath the filter and just took a whole swig of it.
Yep.
I'm watching the Wire now, so they have the best package.
Let me find the experience point thing. Come on. So you participated in a session, so everybody gets a point for that. You didn't explore a zone, so there isn't a point for that. Everybody did a day's work in the Ark. So everybody gets a point for that. Did you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy? Frazier.
My PC buddy is NEKO. I don't think I risked anything.
Okay. What about you, Kyle?
Nope, I didn't either. Mine was also NEKO.
I did help.
I guess I went to
get it.
I don't think you sacrificed or risked anything right now to fully assist her, but well, actually, I'm gonna take that back, Frazier. Yeah, you risked getting caught up there at the main end to let her get in there, so I'll give you a point for that.
Sweet.
What about you, Matt? Anything?
I don't think so for that one. My PC buddy is Syntax, and yeah, we didn't have that.
What, you gave me the pistol?
Yeah.
I guess that's a sacrifice.
Yeah, definitely.
I think so.
Cool.
What about you, NEKO?
I don't know. Obadiah was like all flights of fancy today and all in before, so I don't know. Did I?
I actually think you're kind of trying to protect him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is he's going to get himself killed. Everyone can tell.
I'll give you a point for that. That seems reasonable.
Right. I'll take it.
Frazier, you get a point for sacrificing or risking something for the NPC you want to keep safe.
Oh, cool.
Um,
that's Bayra and Ellen.
Yep.
Sweet. I guess it's a good thing I changed that to nobody. I changed it from nobody.
Kyle, I'll give you a point because we got to see that great scene of you interacting with the corpse woman.
Nice.
Slash NEKO ambiguously.
Matt, you definitely get a point for pushing and risking to protect Victoria.
Thank you.
Sherry?
Like I said, I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone, and I know Elon will be at the head of all the trouble because she's with Marlot, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Frazier, did you sacrifice or risk something to mess with the NPC you hate?
Who is the? Oh no, I haven't encountered Jonette's.
I haven't tracked him down. Okay. On the other hand, Kyle gets a point for hitting in Damon's face.
Yep. Yeah. I was expecting to go even further.
Oh yeah, and definitely, Matt, you'll get a point for pushing to fuck with Orion.
Thank you.
Any KO?
No. I mean, I'm all in for if anything's going to go down to put Davenetta in at a bad place, but I wasn't actually in the place to do it.
Okay.
Only Silas has scored on him so far. Good job, Silas.
Fraser, sacrifice or risk something to reach your big dream.
Yeah, anything. I gave up anything.
Yes, I'll give you that. So your a big dream now is the rest of it. The sword is taken care of.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What about you, Kyle?
My big dream is to take her back out into the rot so she can be resurrected.
I don't think you sacrificed or risked anything yet.
No.
We'll see that next time.
Yeah.
Matt?
Well, I don't think I actually. It's to build a new home in the Dawn world. So eventually, I want to push towards that, like building up my relationship potentially with Brea and Bera, and building up more of that momentum. But I don't think I really got there.
Yeah, no, you got. I think we leaned into the other 2 points you got. So I think the third is fine to take a pass on. Sherry, what about you?
I actually am working on that. That's what all making the booze about is, so that I can get the car and get essentially find a safe place for it and for me as a secondary spot.
Okay.
So
Take a point. Take a drink. All right. So that's where we are. We have one more session left with this particular crew next week. And maybe we'll see Davin on the table next week and see what happens there and deal with those various things. I hope that's okay with everybody.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I am going to stop the broadcast.